Umamua MD, Spring Hill's newest physician-led med spa, it's about restoring balance to your body, mind, and soul. From weight loss support, revitalizing IV therapies, to anti-aging, our services are designed to help you feel renewed, confident, and whole. At Umamua MD, consults with our medical director ensure safe and personalized results. Book today at umamd.com and step forward radiant, restored, and confident.
Stan McNabb Chevrolet, serving Columbia and the surrounding area since 1980. Stan McNabb Chevrolet is family-owned and does their best to make you feel like you're a part of the family. Commitment to customer service is the highest priority. Whatever your vehicle needs are, from sales to service, Stan McNabb is here to help. Stan McNabb Chevrolet is a dealership that cares about this community. Visit us online and get started today. Stan McNabb Chevrolet, where excellence and community converge. Got wings? Alex's Tacos and Wings, winner of the best Mexican food and tacos in Murray County. But did you know that we also have all kinds of the best chicken wings? What's your favorite flavor? Like 'em hot? Pair your meal with a drink from the bar. Delicious food for the entire family is moments away. Alex's Tacos and Wings, 2202 Circle Drive in Columbia. Visit alexstacosandwings.com or check us out on Facebook. Alex's Tacos and Wings. Come take a bite.
We all live very busy lives. Sometimes we just need a break. Wouldn't it be nice to have an extra pair of hands to help out? Let me introduce you to New Dawn Cleaning Service. No job is too big or too small because they do it all, from residential to commercial. They offer standard cleaning, construction cleaning, carpet shampooing, and window cleaning. Whether you are looking for a one-time service or regular scheduled cleaning plan, New Dawn is ready to help. With years of experience, you can relax, kick back, and call New Dawn Cleaning Service at 615-977-6901.
Hello, this is Rick Tillis from Tillis Jewelry. What is a full-service jeweler? Experienced staff, custom designers, in-house jewelry repairs, and beautiful jewelry. Yes, at Tillis Jewelry, we are passionate, knowledgeable, and committed to integrity. We strive to be the best in our community and in our profession. We build long-term relationships and become part of family traditions that will cross generations. We delight clients by providing an unparalleled selection, superior service, and exceptional value. Tillis Jewelry, we exceed your expectations.
Hey, this is Trip Stoltz, owner of Columbia Ace Hardware. We are excited to announce that we have completely remodeled our store. We have expanded our selection in many brands including Milwaukee, Steel, and Big Green Egg. We have new inventory arriving daily, so come see the changes for yourself at 112 East James Campbell Boulevard, Columbia, Tennessee.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At CSH, we know the sport of football builds discipline, character, and work ethic, three common characteristics of winners. It's a sport where we drowns out me. Leadership is nurtured, and that's why CSH supports all Murray County football teams, and want to say a special thanks and good luck to every player, coach, volunteer, and parent of this year's teams, from youth programs, middle schools, and high schools. We know football builds men that make a difference. Let's go.
It is the Murray County Public Schools Game Day Show live on the Front Porch Sports Network, which is powered each and every week by our friends, my friends particularly, at Columbia Power and Water Systems and the fantastic high-speed internet service that is provided by CPWS Internet. Make sure to give us a call, 375-7777, and tell them your friends at Murray County Public Schools Game Day sent you.
And you know, I don't have the high speed because I'm just not.
Yours is high speed, actually.
I'm just not cool enough.
You just don't have the highest.
I just have the regular, the $50 a month, and I'm telling you what, it works fantastic. I love it. My wife loves it, but especially our dog Carl loves that internet service. He gets on there and just
goes crazy.
Yeah, gets in touch with all his friends, and he has his own Facebook page. It's awesome. So
that's what we love to see. We love it when the dogs get involved.
Yeah.
It does look like we've got a lot of stuff piling. A lot of folks piling in. Knoxville Central appears to be in the building, and they'll be going into that brand new renovated visitors locker room that we probably should have left unrenovated, but here we are. Nice hosts. Nice hosts at Columbia Central. So, you get what you get.
They had a water break. They had a water line bust early in the week.
I would just like to point out that was on the school side of the water main. It was not on the CPWS side of the water main.
No, I'm talking about
He's talking about over here, not over there.
I'm talking about in the building here. In the building here.
That was also not on our side.
Yeah, the way it was hooked up, it just kind of slipped off, and just water was everywhere. They came in like Monday or Tuesday, and water was coming out the front doors. And
oh no!
Yeah, it was water everywhere. So they put fans and everything out. It's all good though. They call
it's nice in there.
Yeah, oh my God, it's plush.
After football season, I'm going to see about renting a room out.
The officials' room in there is
top notch.
Oh, it's nicer than most hotels around here.
I said I never knew you can go into officials' room and see your picture up on the wall and pictures of the officials and refrigerating.
It doesn't hurt when the guy in charge of renovation is an official.
That's right. He knows what they need. He knows exactly what they need.
And I tell you what, as a former basketball official for high school, I can tell you, we're not used to going into the nicest facilities to get dressed in.
I've had to dodge, those old student desks that were connected. I've had to dodge those to put on some pants. It's been rough at times. So we certainly appreciate that as officials. There's no question.
I seen food come in for them. They got Chick-fil-A. I seen
what?
Yeah, Chick-fil-A came in. It's laid out in there for them.
Yeah, but I'd much rather have one of those burgers that I'm smelling right now.
Exactly.
Those burgers are fantastic smelling. I don't know if they taste great, but if they taste half as good as they smell,
we're in business.
We're in we're in for a treat.
All right, let's talk about
let's talk some football. Let's go back to we were talking 5A in the last segment. Let's talk about some Class 4A action from last week,
which is spring. Well, go ahead. You want to talk about that from last week, and then we'll get into spring.
Let's talk about Marshall County. They went and defeated Liberty Creek. That was a home game for them over in Lewisburg, 48-21. Pearl Combe put up 70 points as well. Battle Creek did not have as many as East Hamilton. However, it was 70-7 in the Grizzlies.
7 to a while.
Yeah,
70-7.
That's
sounds like
that's how many
about
times?
11 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a lot.
6, 7, somewhere in that range, right?
Yeah.
6, 7.
Please don't.
Right,
as the principal of the school she's got her 6'7" shirt on.
She got her 6'7" shirt on. I see that.
She is hip with the lingo of the youngins.
Springfield was a 35-7 winner over Creekwood. And the two teams that were supposed to win from the region did get a win. Spring Hill was up 34-10 at one point and held on for a 41-34 win over White House. So Marshall County, the number 1 seed, Spring Hill, the number 2 seed in that region, both get wins. And then South Gibson was a 49-7 winner over Millington, and that's how we get to Spring Hill and South Gibson tonight. So big week for the Raiders. They've not been super successful in the second round of the playoffs, 4-9 all time. The last time they were in the second round of the playoffs, they lost to Marshall County.
Yes, we did.
and
yes, we did.
And I will tell you, Dante Smith being hurt in that game was the difference. If Dante Smith had been 100%, Landon, I think you guys would have got the dub.
In a playoff game where I have to play some snaps in the second round as a freshman is not good against Marshall County.
It's not ideal.
It's not good.
It's not what you want to see out of it.
But you guys went over there and competed really well. I mean, it was a 42-21 final, but that game was much closer in the second round of the playoffs. Yeah. It was even closer in the regular season. You guys nearly got them over there.
Oh, yeah, we almost did.
And so this is a time that Spring Hill has a chance to. This is their first win in the first round since that win up at Macon County in 2017. So big game tonight over in Gibson County against the Hornets of South Gibson.
And that game is available for streamers.
It will be. I'm not. is it available on video as well?
Yeah, Dave Dunston
Awesome.
will be
Dave
there.
Dunston is going to be there.
And I mean, going into Spring Hill, I mean, I think it's a defining game for them. I think it's a tone setter game for them, and how they go into this game, win or lose, it is going to set the tone for what the rest of Josh Taylor's tenure looks like. I mean, obviously, we know his interim tag has been removed, and rightfully so. I think he's earned that right. He's done an outstanding job pulling that team together, galvanizing them, kind of reinvigorating a community around football, and really giving them something to really talk about and be proud about around football, around sports, around athletics. I mean, we've sat around this table and have not had really good conversations about Spring Hill football in the past, and to be able to talk positively about what's going on at Spring Hill High School is, it's
a big change.
Big change, huge change. Should all be proud to be able to have that conversation right now.
And like I said before, and I'll say it again, if someone were to say to me or hold a gun to my head and said, look, you got to give the Coach of the Year award to one of these 4 coaches here in Murray County, either Coach Taylor at Spring Hill, Coach Burham at Battle Creek, Coach Goff at Columbia Central, or Coach Hartsville at Mount Pleasant. I mean, it would be
a very difficult decision.
You know,
I mean, a very difficult decision.
They all have done just a terrific job this season. I mean, not even talking about tonight, up to this point, before tonight, all 4 have done just a fantastic job.
They have.
And I honestly, I raise my hand that I would not know who to give the award to for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He's got them in a place to where of the 3 teams playing tonight, they're kind of the one playing with house money. No one expected them to be here. Yeah. As Chris said, the outcome is a success from where we started no matter what. They got to go in there tonight loose, and hopefully they are loose. They want to win. They worked hard, but, hey, man, lay it out. Go play tonight. Just go west.
What was his record last year?
2-8. I think 2-8.
What are they now?
5-5.
Even.
Yeah. I mean,
they would be 6-5, but Glencliff left early.
Had other options.
They left early.
And so Spring Hill has a tough task tonight, no doubt, at South Gibson. But as far as where they are in this bracket, as a 2 seed, they're in a better spot than Marshall County. Marshall County's got Dyer tonight, and if they win and Pearl-Cohn beats Crockett tonight, Marshall has to play Pearl next week.
And who's on top of that? Who's on the top bracket? Because the top
Marshall.
Team, okay,
Marshall's
so
on the top.
At least have, and that last 2 years ago was one of the best games in high school football history when Pearl-Cohn and Marshall County played when they were region opponents. So.
Yeah, and if Spring Hill can pull this off tonight, they will either face Lexington or Springfield, and they will be the host team.
Springfield's a pretty good football team.
Spring Hill will be the host team.
Yes.
That's correct.
There you go.
If they win tonight, and then that road,
by virtue of being a 2 seed,
the road to the Final Four for them to the semis against a Haywood. And again, I'm not saying Haywood or Springfield, either one's a pushover, but they're not Pearl-Cohn.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, that is true.
Right.
That is true.
And again, if we just said even 6 weeks ago, even 5 weeks ago, hey, there's a possibility that there's a 3rd round game at Spring Hill that we might be sitting at that new stadium in the 3rd round of football. No, we would have all said, that ain't happening. What are you talking about?
No way. Good luck.
And you mentioned 5 weeks ago, and I'm going to go back to Central. And Chris and I talked about this week. 5 weeks ago, this Central Lions football team was 2-3. They had just come off of a loss at Riverdale, 2-3, and they're 7-3 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went on.
That's a tremendous come to Jesus moment. Like, we finna have a heart-to-heart conversation, and it was against some really tough teams. I mean, when you talk about
they are battle teams.
They Lincoln in there,
JP2, Tullahoma,
Marshall,
not Marshall, Tullahoma.
Right.
They lost to Marshall.
They lost to Marshall.
Lincoln's in there though, and that's a big time game. One that we could see down the road again, but that's awesome. So
Class 4A tonight again. South Gibson, number 8 in the state, hosting Spring Hill. Marshall County is at home. and you said they play.
If they win,
who do
will
they play tonight?
Dyer
County. Okay.
Dyer County tonight,
So
who is no joke.
Yeah, no, that's a good football team.
And then Pearl and Crockett play.
But I want to go. I want to expand our reach just a little bit, Coach, because two of the biggest football games in the state tonight, if not the two biggest football games in the state tonight. Number 2 in 4A Alcoa goes on the road to number 6 Upperman. Number 3 Anderson County is hosting number 7 Stone Memorial.
Wow.
That is that's insane for round number 2. That is due in part to the change.
We just had a big conversation this morning about the change and the travel and how far teams are coming, and that you're seeing Dyer County in a second round or Alcoa's going to Upperman. That never would have happened before, and it's making some interesting
did
matchups
you guys,
for sure.
Let me give you some statistics from 615 Preps, who did a fantastic job.
We talked about this morning
on this.
Let the world know.
Please.
Yeah, this is awesome right here.
Yeah.
The longest trips in the state, and let's just do public schools because private schools already have to travel
anyway
a million miles anyway. McCallie is at Briarcrest, which is 327 miles. CAK is at Lausanne, which is 374. That's the highest.
McCallie probably flew in though.
They probably did.
Yeah, exactly.
So Blackman out of Murfreesboro goes 279 miles to Dobbins Bennett tonight. Science Hill comes to Green Hill up in Mount Juliet. That's 270 miles. And then the third longest trip in public schools is Lawrence County at Knoxville Halls.
Wow. Listen,
261.4 miles.
And I'm going to tell you, I like it. Now, the only way that I foresee it's changing in the future is really truly if TSSAA loses money on this.
Yeah.
Right? But other than that, I think this is a worthwhile venture. I heard some coaches, it was Wednesday, we had our administrative meeting with TSSAA and talking about rule changes and policies and stuff like that. And one of the things that you heard coaches talking about, they were kind of hem-hawing around about the travel. But one of the coaches said out loud, listen, we've never played this team before.
Ever.
I've been here 20 years, and we've never played them before. So think about the dynamics, the matchups, the scouting reports, the different regions and areas and how they play. And when you start thinking about the names, so Central High School, you would have had basically teams in the region you'd have been competing against. But for you to say East Hamilton, like a team out of,
or Knoxville Central.
Or Knoxville, you go like, hey, wait a minute, this is something to pay attention to.
Well, and not just that. So in the long run, maybe it's a 4-year rotation where you change it every 4 years and you go back to playing, local teams or whatever. I don't know, because I do think that it can get monotonous playing those same teams from a longer distance over time. So if you just switch it up occasionally every few years.
We talked this morning. The killer is going to be not the coaches it's the busing. Spring Hill spent $6,000 to get to South Gibson tonight
and let's give a shout out to
on charter buses.
He don't want credit, but let's give a shout out to Shaq Mason for that.
But the thing about that is honestly, it's an after the fact conversation. We probably today, if we'd had to send Mount Pleasant and Spring Hill on buses, on school bus, we were going to turn out early today probably because that's the only way we would have had buses.
You have to.
It'd have been a half day.
And the student said, well, why didn't we?
Yeah. Hey, that's why I said this is an after the fact conversation.
Take the cheese.
But that's the only thing that could kill this long term is that districts and schools come back and go, because if you drop $6,000 tonight and you turn around and win next week and you got to travel again, through the playoffs, high school sports don't have the money to carry that over time.
Particularly at the smaller classifications.
It's hard.
But Dr. Brewer told me this week that they made less than $1,000 last week. TSSAA gets half of the gate before any expenses are paid.
Right.
And then the other half is split evenly to the two teams, but to the two teams that play, but the home team has to pay officials out of that.
But I think this is something that the Football Association wanted, just because when you look at the region play, Central comes out the gate, they play against Lawrence County, and we are discovering that the top 4 teams out of this region comparably to the teams that they had to play in the East, have been better.
3-1.
3-1. And so I think that argument is going to bowl pretty well when you're sitting around the table to say, well, why should we change it? When on that end of the world, you're looking at a lot weaker team coming out and having far greater success just because of how it's regionally
having
located.
That easy path to
a championship versus like, let's say it. We're going to go 1 through 4 regions here, 5 through 8 regions here, and then we split them in across the middle, 1 to 4, 5, and 8, and y'all are bracketed up here, y'all are bracketed down here, and you see who gets to the state championship.
Well,
I like it, honestly.
What happens is, and as you look at this, Class 1A's average distance is only 135.9 miles. That's only a 7% increase from last year. The difference is when you get to 5A and 6A, where your teams are concentrated in metro areas, so Knoxville, Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis, Jackson, that's where all of those 5A schools are.
Yeah. And when you get
unless there are just a central high school.
And when you get to 6 especially, there's a limited number of them. They're in concentrated areas. There's not as many of them.
Right.
And so that travel's going to be pretty intense.
And am I right that the 6A bracket does not start with 32 teams in? Or did I see that somewhere?
It does.
It does.
It starts with 32.
But when they get to 32, it's kind of like we talked. Who was it? I mean, we talked about some small schools last week that were in. Somebody had a no win.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
0-10.
So when you for that 6A to get to that 32, you've got some teams that probably aren't playoff teams in there.
Yeah, when you have a winless team make the playoffs. I mean,
well, there was one team that it was Giles County didn't even play last week because 0-10 Chattanooga whatever decided just to,
we ain't coming.
Yeah, they said we're not going to Pulaski to get our butts whooped, so we're just going to stay at the house.
And think about the landscape too as well. I mean, think about how big of a city Knoxville is. Obviously you think about the Vols, you think about all the different universities and colleges that are in Knoxville coming to Columbia, Tennessee. For the second round of the playoffs. To me, I think that just kind of makes football special when you make it to the playoffs, to be able to have those experiences versus saying, we play Lawrence County.
We got to go back to Lawrenceburg.
We'll go back to Lawrenceburg.
Go down the road.
It just makes it for an experience in the playoff setting. I think it deepens and it strengthens, puts a different level of significance for football now to be played statewide in a statewide type playoff bracket.
And I think different. every Murray County team playing tonight against their opponent, this is the first meeting between the two schools.
Wow.
In all cases.
It is not.
It's not.
So Columbia Central is 0-1 all-time against the Knoxville Central Bobcats. They lost in 1964.
He went deep.
27-6.
So I was 1 year old.
The 1964 teams.
I was almost 2.
He was close.
Chris was peddling that Google machine hard today to get that.
I know he was going deep in that one.
1964.
Yeah, I was almost 2. I couldn't believe they lost. I was like, what? I was breaking stuff all around the house.
What are they
throwing
doing?
stuff.
What are they doing?
Was it at Knoxville Central or was it at Columbia?
It says all-time
If
versus
I remember
Knox Central.
correctly,
I'm going to go it was here.
I think it was in Columbia.
You think so?
I was almost 2.
Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro.
Think about it, though.
Trust me, bro.
Think about the dynamic of the state in the early 60s. Columbia was a pretty massive city compared to a lot of stuff back then.
Right,
so
true.
This may have been traveling to find someone your size type thing. Yeah.
Good point. Very good point.
I'll tell you what, let's take a quick break. We'll talk about Class 2A on the other side of it. So you guys stick around here on the Murray County Public Schools Game Day show. It is on, of course, the Front Porch Sports Network, powered by CPWS Internet. We'll be right back after this. Is your internet slowing you down? It's time for an upgrade. Whether you're at home, working from your home office, or at your business, it's time to unleash the speed you need with speeds up to 1 gig at CPWS for as low as $70 a month. Give us a call, 931-375-7777. Local service, local support, CPWS.
Hello, my name is Zach Maddox. I'm a proud third-generation owner-operator of Columbia Paint and Wall Cover, founded by my grandfather, Ralph Maddox, in 1946. We offer a variety of paint and wall covering products, but our passion is customer service. We can offer many personalized services and can come out to your house or business if needed. Come visit us at our Columbia location or our new Spring Hill location behind Church of the City, or visit us online at paintcolumbia.com.
This is David Usselton with Usselton Automotive, located in Columbia, Tennessee. We service all foreign and domestic vehicles. We take pride in our work, and we don't cut corners. We offer a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty and loan our cars with almost every repair. We are located at 1201 South High Street in Columbia, Tennessee. You can reach us at 931-215-1765 or find more information at usseltons.com.
We at Hollins Pharmacy must be doing something right. We've been providing pharmaceutical services in the Middle Tennessee area for over 60 years. The guiding principles of our business are fast, accurate, friendly, personal service. We do not have long waiting lines, and our phone calls are answered by a staff member. We strive to get to know our customers by name, not just a date of birth or number. We are your locally owned hometown pharmacy, and we appreciate your business. We urge you to come visit us at Hollins Pharmacy, 1608 Hatcher Lane here in Columbia.
Columbia Foodland is a locally owned and operated family grocery store with a full line of dry, dairy, frozen, meat, and produce items. We focus on keeping the freshest hand-cut meat and produce items daily with the most competitive prices in town. We offer weekly ad specials as well as in-store weekly specials throughout the store. Located at 427 West 7th Street in Columbia in the former Harris Foodland location. Columbia Foodland. We're here and ready to serve the wonderful people of Columbia and the surrounding areas.
Hi, I'm Chris Chumley, owner of Expert Landscaping, LLC. Located in beautiful Columbia, Tennessee, Expert Landscaping specializes in consulting and design for all your outdoor needs, as well as installations for landscaping, pools, patios, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, irrigation, and lighting. Call us today at 931-374-1772. Expert Landscaping, where quality work is an investment in the future.
Mezcal Cochina Mexicana. Delicious food and amazing service at an affordable price. Mezcal Cochina Mexicana. Located off of Nashville Highway in Neapolis, near Spring Hill High School, 2504 Care Lane. Authentic Mexican cuisine. Full menu. Family dine-in. Takeout. Delivery. Offering the best cocktails in the area. On the rocks or frozen, pair your meal with our famous margarita. Don't forget, Mezcal Cochina Mexicana for your next meal. Check us out on Facebook. Visit Mezcal Cochina Mexicana today. Proud supporters of the Front Porch Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Matt Perales, manager of Murray County Equipment. We help you with all your agriculture and construction equipment needs. We carry a full line of New Holland tractors from compacts to high horsepower. We have a full line of Gravely mowing equipment. We also have New Holland construction equipment, attachments, and accessories for your tractors and a complete parts department. We are locally owned and operated. Come see us at 1075 North James Campbell Boulevard or learn about us on Facebook or contact us at 931-490-8183.
Welcome back into the Murray County Public Schools Game Day Show on the Front Porch Sports Network, powered by CPWS Internet. We are glad to be with you here on this beautiful Friday night in Columbia, Tennessee at Murray County Park. We are inside Lindsey Nelson Stadium, just off of Jim Cartwright Field.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
In the shadow of the Marion Wilhoit press box.
Yeah, right here in Maury County Park. People are filing in for the second round playoff game tonight as the Knoxville Central Bobcats.
The Bobcats
come in to play the Lions. And, who doesn't like a good cat? Who doesn't like a good cat fight? I'm just saying.
I'll tell you a fun story. You're just thinking off the top of my head here. I wonder how confusing it must be to Knoxville Central to walk into Lindsey Nelson Stadium in Columbia, Tennessee.
Yeah,
good point. Against Central High School.
Assuming these kids know. Assuming these kids know who Lindsey Nelson was.
Well, I mean, they have to have heard of the baseball stadium at least.
You would think so.
You would think.
But I'm sure they don't know that Lindsey Nelson is from this area.
Born in Pulaski, born in Giles County, and then moved up to Columbia.
Yes.
We called Columbia his hometown.
The voice of the New York Mets at one time.
Yeah, yes, and the Giants. I think he did a lot of Giants, then worked for CBS.
College football.
Cotton Bowl after Cotton Bowl.
And one of Lindsey Nelson's famous blazers, he used to wear those kind of decorative blazers, I don't know if it's still there or not, is in the vault at Central High School.
Okay.
Yep. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Mount Pleasant.
Tater's back. Just in case y'all didn't know, y'all needed to know.
Mount Pleasant, 9-2 overall, number 2 seed in the region, has to go to Milan tonight.
Bulldogs.
Which is just north of South Gibson.
They're about 10, 15 minutes apart tonight.
I'm telling you, that's kind of crazy.
They should have just rode all the buses together. They could have rode 2 buses.
Spring Hill from Maury County, Mount Pleasant from Maury County are playing 2 teams from Gibson County. I mean, that's nuts.
Maury County invading Gibson County.
Yeah, they are indeed. And that is on the backs of a Milan 37-0 win over Mace last week. And you said the third consecutive shutout for the Bulldogs.
Zeros. Third consecutive shutout.
Pretty good week there. Lewis County, number 1 seed out of Mount Pleasant's region, put up a goose egg as well against Houston County. 37-0 winners over the Irish. And they'll take on Huntington tonight, who was a 22-12 winner over Memphis Business, who was playing without their head coach because he was indicted in a federal drug running scheme last week.
Wow. That was his one way. That was his business. That was his business.
They just don't pay enough to come
on. So there's that.
That sounds like the 90s Cowboys or something.
That was wild. Y'all, when I read that
National
story,
Guard got to Memphis and it was on. Huh?
It was over.
Listen,
pinpointed everybody.
When I read that story, I thought, what in the world is going on? But yeah, Huntington 22-12 winners over Memphis Business. East Robertson down Decatur County Riverside 38-7. And again, Mount Pleasant also with that shutout of East Hickman 28-0.
And that just shows you how important Coach and Eric and everybody up here, how important that dang Lewis County Mount Pleasant game was.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? I mean, if Mount Pleasant's able to pull that win off, which they were right the last touchdown by Lewis County was kind of a garbage time, last minute of the game type touchdown. But I mean, if they're able to pull that win off, their fortunes as far as who they have to play are completely turned around.
They'd at least be at home, though.
Yeah, they're at home. They're not even traveling if they win that game.
They would at least be at home, even though they'd still be playing number 4 Huntington.
Well, I mean that's okay, but you're not traveling to number 1 Milan.
That's huge.
I think the travel.
Yeah.
The travel is the biggest difference. I don't know how much difference there is between Huntington and Milan. I'd say they're both very good football teams.
Well, I mean, Memphis Business Academy or whatever business school or whatever the deal was, they scored 12 points on Huntington.
And held them to 22.
And nobody scored a point on Milan over the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if I had my druthers, I'd rather be playing home. I'd rather beat Lewis County and play at home against Huntington.
I had to, unfortunately.
So,
they will not get that opportunity. They will have to go play the Bulldogs. And boy, it would have been a lot more fun if Lewis County had to go to Milan with the Bobby Sharp connection as he continues to be a defensive coach over there.
He's a DC. He's a defensive coordinator at Milan, huh?
Yeah. Bobby's from Milan.
Yeah.
Of course, made his name as the head coach at Lewis County, and I spent a year over here, and then went back to Milan.
It would have been a lot of fun though if that storyline would have been way cooler if it was Lewis County.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, we did not get that lucky. No, really good game last week from Mount Pleasant. It felt like to me they really learned a lot from that first game against East Hickman, but they didn't really put a whole lot on tape because they felt pretty good about the football game.
No, I agree. I think they kind of held some back in the tank, knowing what the landscape of the rest of the playoffs look like. And Kit, he's no stranger to this. It doesn't get easier, but Kit's no stranger to this, and I think those boys will be very prepared. I mean, I think they're finally getting a little bit more healthier than they had been to start the season, and I think they're going to learn from the Lewis County loss. I mean, 3 fumbles basically cost them a number 1 seed.
Sure.
Something that they don't do.
Yeah, uncharacteristic.
It's not uncharacteristic of those boys, and I think they're using bulletin board material to get those boys locked in and ready to go play. And I'm excited to see what the outcome is. Mount Pleasant is not going to put up a goose egg. They're going to score. They're going to be competitive. Now, the trenches, obviously, the beef up front is probably what's going to be the biggest difference in that game and what's going to dictate what can and cannot happen. But from a skill player to skill standpoint, Mount Pleasant is as good as anybody.
I think that's going to be an awesome setting tonight for football down there, too. That's a very – Chris and I and several of us, when we were getting ready to work on these fields, one of the places we went and looked at the stadium was we stopped in Milan and looked at it. It's a top-notch as far as anywhere in the state. It's as nice as it's going to be. The great thing about it, too, Milan's a little town.
Yeah.
That's a special school district. They just have 3 schools right there in town. You're going to have a large turnout, and Mount Pleasant's traveling tonight. So that atmosphere down there,
it's going to be right.
It's got to be wide open.
And a cat burglar could make out big down in Milan tonight about 7 o'clock.
Because ain't nobody at home.
To house, cleaning up. Now, Milan's undefeated this year. Like you said, have not allowed a point the past 3 weeks. Has a Mr. Football nominee in a running back, and he also plays linebacker. Jaden Pete is his name. Mr. Pete has has 920 rushing yards, 18 touchdowns, and over 70 tackles on defense. So he's kind of like Lionel Brooks.
Mr. Do-It-All. Well, Lionel doesn't play defense, so he might actually be Mr. Do-It-All.
There you have it. Zach Thomas, their quarterback, 13 touchdowns. Cordarius Johnson, wide receiver, 9 TDs. And they are ranked as the best team in 2A football
in
the state of Tennessee.
They are the reigning runner-up in the state.
So let me ask this question.
Lost state championship last year.
It kind of feels like, and I know there are a lot of things that go into it, but this part of the region, our teams don't seem to be getting the type of love in rankings that they possibly could be getting. Obviously, especially dealing with what's happened in the East. Central's playing 2 teams back-to-back that have been ranked in the state, beat 1 by 70. Obviously, Mount Pleasant has been a really, really good program. Very, very tough region with having Lewis County in there. Yet, obviously going west is still tough, but I'm just really curious about, this area kind of being overlooked. I don't know what it is.
TSWA has quite a few East Tennessee. That's really where the riders are kind of. The riders are kind of concentrated over there. See, here in Middle Tennessee, I think Maurice is the only rider in Middle Tennessee who votes outside of. I know 6-1 Preps does. And then I think it's just Maurice.
But 6-1 Preps is going to be focused so much
615, 615.
615 is going to be focused so much on Wilson and Rutherford and Franklin.
North
Williamson.
of us.
Yeah, north of us. That's their purview for sure.
We got to get the radio station to say, hey, we got to get some more journalists voting.
Yeah. Well,
so I need a vote.
How do you get on the list?
$25 to the TSWA, and I write you a check next week. Give it to Mo. He's the treasurer of the organization. And next year you can have a vote. I promise.
I will get a vote.
So let's make it happen.
So I'm going to add a different flavor to these rankings, going back to my Sonny Moore power rankings that I refer to each week. Sonny Moore ranks teams in Tennessee without any detail to what class they play in. So there are 354 schools in Tennessee that play football.
Okay.
354. And again, Sonny Moore ranks them
1 to 354?
1 to 354.
I love that.
Wow. They do not separate them by class. So I'm going to share with you that, and I'll start with Central in the 5A bracket here. Sonny Moore has Central High School ranked 48 out of the 354.
And I'm assuming this is a complete algorithm type.
Yes.
So it's off of what you do, not who you are,
right.
or an eye
right.
test.
Correct.
Or what you did in the past.
Right, yeah.
Strength of schedule and all that. Knox Central is ranked 47th.
Wow.
So we got a 47-48 matchup.
That's pretty darn good.
Going to the 4A, and I've only got our teams and who they're playing. South Gibson is ranked 41.
Wow.
Okay.
So they're ahead of both of these teams.
Wow. Did not see that coming, Coach.
Spring Hill High School is ranked 168.
Yeah.
And then to our 2A team, Milan is ranked 40. So Milan is the highest ranked team
out of all
six.
My goodness.
That involve our teams. And then Mount Pleasant is 108.
Really? I don't know if I believe that one.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one.
I'm not sure there's 107 teams better than those guys.
Well, when you talk about, when you talk about all schools, there's.
Well, and that's just when an algorithm gets into it as well.
Yeah.
It just.
Well, you remember the BCS days when we let a computer help determine those four teams, and the cry was, let's don't do this. Let's not let a computer do this. Let's add some human. So now we've got a committee, and the push now is
there needs to be a hybrid.
Let's let a computer.
Now they're crying about the human
I
aspect.
think a hybrid would be good, though. I do think if you could throw in the Massey ratings or something like that and throw it. Now, Georgia is doing that. I believe Georgia next year will actually go. They will seed teams 1 through 32. You will not play a region. You will actually be seeded 1 through 32, and that's how you.
And they bracket it up.
And they will bracket up 1 versus 32.
I like that.
That would change everything.
I like that.
Right?
I like that.
I just don't know how you get to the 132. Is it something like a Sonny Moore ratings? Is it the Coach T ratings that you see? Is it Max Preps ratings? Because they're using Max Preps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every school has to put their stuff into Max Preps, which I, as a journalist, would very much appreciate.
It helps the student athlete. The data, the information that you can find.
100%.
What college coaches can find.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like that idea.
I don't think it's a terrible idea.
No.
I don't think it's a terrible idea, and it would completely change who you play every year.
And I'm sure the final, push through the region play would determine ultimately how you're ranked out. So if you win your region, it's like an automatic
champions
bid.
get in. All region champions get in.
I like that.
Everything, but you're not guaranteed a top 8 seed. You're just going to be you're in. You could be 32.
If it plays out the way it's supposed to, in that you should have some really good final round games if that worked out, because you should have the two best teams or the 4 best teams coming through. It could be really interesting.
The best of the best.
You almost create these Cinderella scenarios, even more than we have now, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, boy, could you imagine the 32 team upsetting the number 1 team in round 1? My goodness, how crazy would that be?
In Georgia, somebody's getting fired.
Exactly. You won't have a job.
He is done.
Oh, man.
Go ahead and clean your closet out, Coach.
And going to a different sport, basketball, college basketball, that is how it's done.
Yeah.
You've got your 1 through 64. There are some play-in games, obviously, that used to not be a part of it, but we've seen in the sport of college basketball, more so than in any other sport, where a lot of those low seeds do win.
Yeah.
And it would just be a lot of fun.
Is it RPI that they use in basketball?
Kind of. It's the net rating
and the net ratings, yeah.
Well, and to me, if travel is not an issue, because it certainly doesn't seem to be an issue,
everybody's figuring it out.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's the way you go. Now, what happens when Knox Central has to go to Northside Jackson on Friday night? That might be a difference maker. I don't know.
I mean, you could do it like, college baseball.
What if you create
super regionals,
super regionals.
Hey, what if you looked at? All right, we got a stadium in Chattanooga, we got a stadium in Nashville, we got a stadium in Memphis, and one in Knoxville, and we got 4 hubs, and we got a Saturday maybe. Yeah. And we're playing boom, 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 boom.
That would be
just like the state championship games. You can play 3. You can play 3 in a day.
Yeah. That would be. It'd be fun, man.
And you get to be able to split a huge gate.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's be honest. Teams travel long distances. It hurts the gate. It hurts. The bottom line is it hurts the gate and the money made from that home
and
school.
JROTC because they're not selling as many hamburgers.
I mean,
those hubs also create these super.
They create
for scouts.
Yes, but
college coaches,
media.
Oh, God, yes.
Hey, even if it's Knoxville TV, Nashville TV, or whatever.
They're coming.
They're coming because there's an all-day event going on that's going to draw eyes.
So
that money comes in to split amongst the schools, hopefully, too, maybe.
And the fact that if you're playing that game in that kind of regional setup, playing in that stadium, coming out of those tunnels, in those locker rooms, in front of those crowds.
It's a big deal.
It's different. I mean, I remember the days when basketball, Central's region, they would play at the Murphy Center in the region. And, I mean, that's special. So, I mean, I think creating these levels of opportunities for our student athletes, I mean, and I had a conversation with Mark Reeves on Wednesday that, the emphasis on high school sports and the weight in which it carries, that piece of it is evolving and changing. High school coaches don't carry the same level of weight that they used to. I mean, this emphasis is falling on tribal coaches in every sport.
AAU ball is huge. I mean, that's where the talent is scouted nowadays.
So creating environments where kids can get the maximum amount of exposure possible is a big deal. So if let's say
you've got these the Nikes of the world, the Under Armours and Adidas and McDonald's, all that all pour money into. I know they do in basketball
for sure
to create these leagues all across the nation. Chris, I want to ask you a question, and I don't mean to open up a can of controversy.
Well, this should be fun.
But we've mentioned earlier that TSSAA takes 50% of the gate sales across the state.
Yeah.
Why? and what are our thoughts on that?
So I think
our collective thoughts.
So TSSAA has to create mechanisms for revenue generating opportunities to just ensure that the operations of TSSAA can function. Now, I do think that there probably are some better ways that collectively as a body we could probably explore to improve the funding streams of what's happening with TSSAA. The one thing I don't know the answer to this, and I can find out, but they have partners that they work with, like Perryweather has become a partner, and you'll see like these different schools have, different like Farm Bureau and things like that. But I don't think it comes with any financial benefit, and so I think probably part of what TSSAA could do to help offset that is get more corporate sponsors and funding inside the program that gives them, whatever sort of tie, whatever sort of sponsorship. So like if Coke gives them $3.4 million, right, then part of the deal of you being a TSSAA school is that you got to put a Coke banner up in your stadium. It's kind of like our MOU agreement with, Murray Regional. We got to put a Murray Regional banner up in every school and gymnasium because of the partnership. So I don't like the fact that we got to give 50% of the gate away, and they tie their hands to the media as well. So
my biggest concern is, why is TSSAA not paying the officials out of that 50%? Why is the school having to pay the officials? Right. That's where I'm a little concerned. It's a TSSAA. You don't get your officials. The TSSAA assigns your officials in the playoffs, so they should be paying the officials. You shouldn't have to pay mileage to a guy from Jackson to come to Murray County to officiate a football game if you have no control over where they come from.
Now, back in the day, as far as basketball officiating goes, when we went and did sub-state games, once we moved onto the sectional sub-state, whatever the deal was, we got paid our mile. Then we would get paid mileage, a per diem, and then we get a game.
You guys were getting paid?
We get a game fee, but that would be sent to us later. So that was coming out of
how the money is split and
how
all
the
that
money
other
is
stuff.
split.
Yeah.
Right. The school, I don't think the school was playing that. Those checks came at a week or so later from the TSSAA.
And so and part of TSSAA's kind of hand in it all is really once you get to kind of this state playoff play, you get out of the region is when they kind of get involved. And it's different for every sport. So they don't get involved in any sport at the district level. It's basically once you hit region play, that's where they start getting involved and start kind of drawing down funds. But I do think
every sport.
In every sport. But I do think that but with this travel, let's use Spring Hill for example, and the $6,000 price tag for round 2. Don't know if I would necessarily have done that, but for round 2, we paid $6,000 to travel. Plus, we're going to stop somewhere and eat. So I mean, let's just say call it a easy $8,000 to go and play in South Gibson. Well, what teams are going to be arguing is, hey, we hosted the first round of the playoffs, barely made $1,000. That doesn't even. It's not even a drop in the bucket for what we got to pay for to travel
to get there.
You got to help us offset some of this in costs, and so they may do a scale of some sort, first round, second round on up, and the amount of money we take.
And from a school or a district standpoint, the argument would be, you just took $6,000 away from our student athletes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because now they didn't have to travel that way. That's a choice, and schools are making that choice. There's other ways around it. However, there's still a cost in that, and if your cost, even if you pay school buses that are taking your band and your cheerleaders and your team, you're sitting at $2,000 by the time we make the trip and come back. You only made $1,000 off your first round game.
You're in the whole $1,000.
So you're really penalizing the program that's putting money back into the kids. Kind of. You know, there's got to be a way around that.
How many years ago did it all explode into 6 classifications? Do you all remember about how long ago that was?
I want to say it was 2005.
I was going to say early.
Was it 20 years ago?
I want to say early 2000s because I remember Central was the highest classification for a while. Mm-hmm. Fell out of the highest classification, was getting pummeled, and based on size dropped to 5, and that's right around 2010 when they won the state. So it's been around for. At least since 2000.
At least 20 years.
Yeah, at least 20 years.
And we all know why they go. Let's go to 6 classifications.
More teams make the playoffs.
That's right. You get more people in the seats. You have more championships. You have more money. More folks going.
Look at the baseball, basketball model. I mean, you got in baseball your top 4 teams go and advance. Basketball, your top 4 teams advance, and it didn't used to be like. I mean, even in when you start looking at region play. So if we lose the region, we used to be out. When I played, if you lost the region, you were done.
That's right.
We got beat by perennial powerhouse, number 1 ranked Murfreesboro, Oakland, 2 years in a row. They were the number 1 team in the state, and we lost to them in the region championship. The way it's set up now, we would have traveled.
You get a chance.
Loser.
And we would have met. We probably would have met at least one of those years. Would have met Oakland in the state championship.
Sure. And I get it, but you're also now you have a winless team.
True. Very true.
Making the playoffs.
Well,
and then you got teams that won't go. You got teams that won't travel.
I'll date myself.
They won't play Giles County High School.
That's right.
So I'll date myself a
I don't
little
think
bit
that's
here.
Necessary.
Not necessary.
We're all aware.
Well, there is one older than me up here. When I was in high school, I played 2 sports. I played on 2 state championship teams, one in baseball, one in football. You had to win your district to go on. Mm-hmm. And like Chris says, you had to win your region to go on. You had to win your sub-state to go on. The baseball championship I played in was back when there was no spring fling, there was no central location.
And now there's not again.
You went even odd to who the host would be. We were the odd man out that year and had to travel to Knoxville to play Gibbs High School. And the state championship was the best 2 of 3. You played a doubleheader on day 1, and if needed, you played a third game on day 2. Now, we went to Knoxville Gibbs, went up there that morning, played 2 baseball games, swept them, and came home with a state championship, all in one day. The 84 football team I played for, again, you had to win your district and then work your way through the playoffs. And ironically enough, we played Milan in the semifinals in Milan, beat them 25-0, came back home that night, and then the next week went to Vanderbilt on a Saturday and played Marion County and defeated them. Now, I say all that to say this. We now are allowing 4 teams from each district to go. To Eric's point earlier, this involves some winless teams making the playoffs. It's all for the money. Bowl games used to be a thing in high school football.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. Clinic Bowl or Watertown Bowl or whatever, bowls.
The bowls that if you didn't win your region,
played a bowl game.
You played in the bowl game. I played in the Walking Horse Bowl my freshman year because we didn't win our district that year. And then slowly but surely, no one cared about bowl games. We're seeing the same thing happen in college sports right
football.
now.
Yep.
If you're not one of those 12 teams in that playoff,
nobody cares about those
Nobody
bowls.
cares. The players are opting out.
Eli Drinkwitz said that this week.
And by the way, a little birdie just stuck a little something in my head. The rumor is Lane Kiffin to Florida on Sunday.
Yeah, that's.
Has that been out?
Neil McCready was on.
I believe it.
Neil McCready, who covers Ole Miss, basically said we would know something on Saturday, and he would not be surprised if there were some very direct questions by Florida beat writers in that Ole Miss press conference. So that's pretty much a done deal.
And guess who Ole Miss plays Saturday?
Florida.
Yeah,
that's what he was saying.
I'm just saying it just just.
Hey, we'll just do it while we're all together.
Hey,
while we're all together.
I got fired on a tarmac. I can get hired on a sideline. Let's do it all together.
Dang, that's rough right there. That is rough. Yeah, no, that's exciting stuff right there. And you know, to your point, Coach, there's a way that we could have our cake and eat it too. Wouldn't it be cool if we just had 3 teams make the playoffs and the number 1 seed got a bye to round 2? Oh, man, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, be nice for those 3 teams, I guess.
You just put in some teams that aren't very good in some tough situations at the end of the season.
100%.
To the point that some say we're not coming.
Well, Giles got a break.
And that's what's happening.
Giles got a week off.
They did get that bye.
We can't afford to go.
Yeah.
We need to ask. We need to ask OC what that was like and see if we can't use that as Exhibit A in my. But anyway, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about tonight's games. We'll start in 2A, then we'll move to 4A, and then tonight's, of course, big matchup right here. Going to be a lot of fun. Come back to Lindsey Nelson Stadium. If you're not here, get here. We'll see you back here on the Front Porch Sports Network, WKOM 1017 as well. Stick around.
Front Porch Sports Network Friday Night Football is brought to you by Northside Medical Professionals, caring for Murray County families for over 30 years. From routine checkups and sports physicals to same-day sick visits and long-term care, Northside Medical Professionals is your hometown team for better health. With convenient locations, extended hours, and a staff that treats you like family, they're here to keep you strong all season long. Northside Medical Professionals, trusted care close to home. Learn more or schedule your visit at northsidemedicalprofessionals.com.
Discover Prime and Pint in downtown Columbia, where great food meets great company. Join us for weekly specials. Tuesday is Texas Tuesday, with a rotating menu that gives back to local causes. Wednesday is half-off burgers and pints all day long. And on Thursday, don't miss our prime rib dinner carved fresh by our chef. Make your night memorable at Prime and Pint, 105 East 6th Street, Columbia. Prime and Pint Butchery and Public House.
The Way Realty is helping to empower buyers and sellers to accomplish their real estate goals. Currently, we have sellers offering buy-down rates to 4.875% fixed-rate financing on selected homes through approved lenders. If you want to buy or sell your home faster, let us show you the many services we offer to help you get the most out of your real estate transaction. Schedule your listing or showing appointment today by going to thewayrealty.com or calling us at 931-580-4669. And remember, Jesus Christ changes lives. I know because He changed mine.
Tonight's Front Porch Sports Network coverage is brought to you by TriStar Elevator, Middle Tennessee's trusted full-service elevator company based right here in Columbia. From maintenance to repairs to modernization and new installations, TriStar Elevator keeps commercial and residential elevators running safely and smoothly. With over 45 years of experience and a commitment to fast, reliable service, they're the hometown team you can count on. TriStar Elevator, raising the standard in elevator care. Call 931-797-0329 or visit TriStarElevatorTN.com.
Columbia, your Love's travel stop just got a whole lot better. We've modernized our space at 1624 Bear Creek Pike at exit 46 to bring you more of what you want with fuel discounts, additional food offerings, and everything you need to hit the road with ease. Come say hi at the remodeled Love's in Columbia. We thank you for allowing us to be a part of your community. Safe travels.
Hi, I'm Robert Rogers at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
And I'm Michael Parks Lawrence at Parks Motor Sales Buick GMC.
Together, we're Mr. Bobby Parks' grandsons, and we run his dealership, and we are glad to be part of our local community.
Being family owned and operated, we invest heavily in our community.
We do things like sports teams, schools, bands, you name it. We try to help everybody we can.
The reason why we do this is because we all love this community.
So come do business with us, your neighbors, at Parks Motor Sales in Columbia, Tennessee, right off Nashville Highway, or at parksmotorsales.com.
Columbia Power and Water Systems is dedicated to bringing our customers reliable, local service. Whether you're turning on a light switch, your faucet, or streaming on TV, our dedicated team members from here in Murray County work every day to keep you on. If you need us, call us 931-388-4833 or visit cpws.com. CPWS, local service, local support.
At Umamua MD, Spring Hill's newest physician-led med spa, it's about restoring balance to your body, mind, and soul. From weight loss support, revitalizing IV therapies, to anti-aging, our services are designed to help you feel renewed, confident, and whole. At Umamua MD, consults with our medical director ensure safe and personalized results. Book today at umamd.com and step forward radiant, restored, and confident.
It is the Murray County Public Schools Game Day Show on the Front Porch Sports Network, powered by CPWS Internet. Don't forget to grab your super fast 1 gig internet from CPWS. Give us a call, 375-7777. Make sure to tell them the Front Porch Sports sent you. We're going to talk now, get into a little bit of the keys to tonight's games, and we'll talk to Coach Keith Stacy. We've already got some thoughts from Drake, who has who apparently went on the Google machine himself.
What are you talking about?
You got a lot of Google machine information over there. But we'll go now to the keys to the game, and sponsored by Google Gemini, who absolutely destroyed me on the graphics here. They gave me some bug eyes. I look like
good. I think you look good. That's pretty close.
I look like I'm
pretty close
on some.
It's like somebody might have goosed you, but I mean, he's pretty close.
What just happened here? No, let's get into it tonight, because we've got some keys to the game, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. Let's talk first about South Gibson, and I'm just going to tell you they need to run the dang ball and don't turn it over, right? Because you said it earlier, Jaden Pete, 920 yards, 18 touchdowns on 123 carries. When he totes it, he's going.
They also have a Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin, a Badger commitment in the tight end, defensive end, Yaya Gadd, Gaad, he's 6'5".
Kid's legit.
So Jackson Young, wide receiver, cornerback is a weapon. And Jaden Reed, I guess he left the Green Bay Packers and is now a running back.
He's a Hornet.
He's a
South
Hornet.
Gibson, a Hornet.
But Jaden Reed is also running back as a weapon. So
they run the ball for 300 yards a game, 3,281 rushing yards on the year. They're plus 14 in turnovers, and Jackson Young, a player to watch, who has 5 interceptions on the year.
when you got that type of differential in turnovers, plus 14, and you're running for over 300 yards a game, you're probably a pretty tough team to beat.
Good thing is Spring Hill, either way, win or lose, probably coming home pretty quick because that ball game will be over fast. The clock won't stop. For Spring Hill, it's going to be consistent and get after the quarterback. They have sacked quarterbacks 35 times this year. Now, South Gibson doesn't like to drop back, but if they do, you've got to get to the quarterback and affect him. Get them behind the chains so they can't run the football. You got to force them to be one-dimensional. And then, of course, be consistent. You've got Jonah Gibson, who's in his limited time at quarterback this year, has 3 touchdowns through the air, 5 on the ground, a little over 900 total yards.
And he's just a freshman, too. Keep that in mind.
That's right. And then Lionel Brooks, we've talked about. 17 touchdowns, 156 yards a game. That
ridiculous.
Guy is
ridiculous.
Do it all.
So good.
The Spring Hill Raiders go as Lionel Brooks goes.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the engine.
He's the straw.
Yeah, he makes everything move for the Spring Hill Raiders offensively. And, if he can have a big night, then the Raiders can stay in the ball game.
And I think if you take it a little bit further, I mean, the trajectory that Spring Hill's been on, nobody could predict that. And it's like a baseball team getting hot late, getting into the playoffs, everything clicking. You got a different level of confidence about not being able to lose. And I'm sure the conversations around that nobody predicted you guys would be here. You were finally able to prove everybody wrong and just come up here and play free and just play how you're capable of playing. I think Spring Hill's got to keep their game plan simple and just go out and just be determined to win.
Well, I do think that the defensive line for Spring Hill is a difference maker. I mean, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Lennon. You've seen this team play a lot more than we have, but to me it feels like they have a really good front seven.
Yeah, they do. When you look at the D-line, you got Seneca Caldwell, the younger brother of Dante Smith. You got Gavin Jacobs.
Seneca
you got
Caldwell
a couple
is
of guys
a problem,
that are
by the way.
linebackers that slide down on the edge. There's something serious up there on the front.
And that bodes well against a team that's run the ball for 3,200 yards this year.
Something's
it really
gotta give.
feels like strength on strength.
Yeah, it is.
And I think what Spring Hill has to do in order to win this game tonight against South Gibson is do what they didn't do last week, and that is if they hold down their opponent to basically 10 points the whole game.
Yeah, you
and
can't
then,
just give up.
and then the fourth quarter, you kind of collapse defensively and let that team get back in the game and tie it up 34-34. You score a touchdown late in the game to win the ball game, and everything's coming up roses at Spring Hill. But if you do that tonight at South Gibson, if you keep them down to 10 points through 3 quarters, you don't need to give them 24 points in the fourth quarter.
You can't expect to win if you do that.
You cannot do that.
You can't do it.
Live report from South Gibson. Nick Deschamps says, can confirm Jackson Young looks the part. There you go.
So, there you have
Coach,
it.
what do you think? What do you got over here?
Just from what I've heard you say about their offense and the way they like to run the football, there's a couple of things that come to my mind. A team that is dominant in the run game offensively is able to control the clock. And if you're on defense and you can't get off the field on third down against a strong team in the run game, it becomes demoralizing. So I think you have to get them off the field in those third downs. Don't let them have third and short all night long. Get them in some third and longs, and then get off the field. The second thing that I heard was the turnover differential was plus 14 in favor of South Gibson on the year.
Yes.
Those are possessions that they've stolen from the other team, only to give give the ball back to this team that likes to run the ball and chew up clock.
And it probably means that they're not giving the ball up either.
Right.
They're taking care of the ball when they have it, and they're not giving it up. That's why they're plus 14.
They've thrown 2 interceptions, and as much as they run the football, they have not lost a fumble all year.
So there you go.
So they've only had 2 turnovers. That's impressive.
Wow.
Mount Pleasant needs to get off the field on 3rd down. If force a turnover or 2, steal a possession or 2, and then they have to keep their offense on the field. Now, not Mount Pleasant, I meant Spring Hill.
Spring Hill, sure.
But you've got to make your offensive possessions productive, and there's a couple of ways that offensive possessions can be productive. Number 1, you score points. Number 2, if you don't score points, you flip the field. And
get a couple of first downs.
Get some first downs and keep the ball on that end of the field. If you end up having to punt, be in a position where your punt pins them deep and forces them to go the length of the field coming back the other way. And I think my last key to this is for Spring Hill. I keep wanting to say Mount Pleasant.
We're going to them next. Don't worry.
They're right down the street today. They're right down the street.
For Spring Hill, the ride they've been on this year has obviously been a much improved performance out of that team throughout the year, and I know that their kids are a whole lot more confident. Don't let your emotions carry you through this game.
Yeah.
Emotions will get you from the kickoff to the first hit in the mouth, and then you got to have more than emotion to stay around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about Milan tonight. They need to spread the love. We talked about Zach Summers. He's completed 68% of his passes, though he doesn't throw it very often, for just over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. His favorite target is Cordarius Johnson, 492 yards and 9 touchdowns of those 13, so he likes to haul it in. Jaden Pete, the Mr. Football semifinalist, 920 yards, 18 touchdowns, and also – they don't just give it to him. Carson Kelly, the junior, 98 carries, 517 yards, and 4 touchdowns as well. So you can't just key in on one guy for the Bulldogs. On Mount Pleasant's side, very similar. Avoid being one-dimensional and protect the quarterback. Milan and Mount Pleasant are both +8 in turnovers, but Mount Pleasant's +8 includes 3 fumbles against Lewis County. So that is kind of a misleading stat. Milan only has 14 sacks on the year, so if you can protect Kel Scott, you got a chance to win this football game. 76% passing on the year, just under 2,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. Caden McCrory is 130 for 866 and 19 scores. These guys are all very, very good, and I fully expect that this is going to be one of the best games across the state tonight. I talked about Alcoa and Upperman earlier. I think this game is right here.
I think it's going to be a battle because, Mount Pleasant has electric players on their side of the ball. They can turn the field as quick as anybody. They can hit you in the mouth. They got some big-time players, some size. And when you get to this time of the year, especially winning, galvanizing players, getting them on the same page, understanding what you're playing for, taking the trip, leaving school early, taking the trip all the way down. Really, the whole thing is about a business trip, and you're kind of focused on football the entire day.
Yep.
Not focused on your class, not focused on anything else, just kind of locked in, and that messaging being reiterated throughout. And so I fully expect it to be a great game.
And I agree with you guys. I think Mount Pleasant has tons of playmakers on their side of the ball, offensively
and they can go the distance at any time.
And Coach Hartsfield will tell you, we're an explosive type offense. We're a big play type offense. And really, to be honest with you, I think that's the type of offense that has the potential to give Milan the most trouble.
I agree.
If you were a ground and pound type team, I think Milan would welcome that as opposed to being able to have the ability for explosive plays.
And I think Mount Pleasant can do either or.
Either or.
And Mount Pleasant's hungry. They're the team that coming
100%.
into the year that we would have said, hey, we think they're in this position. They have to have the mindset we belong on this field.
Absolutely.
This is where we want to be.
So it's funny.
We want to be here tonight because this is the team that everybody's got to go through. Let's get them tonight.
And here's the thing about that is nobody expects you to win, and a team as good as Mount Pleasant that can play the underdog card, that's a dangerous football team.
It's us against the world tonight.
Absolutely it is for them.
As far as they're concerned, and they've got the weapons to go fight.
And I think it kind of goes back to that Lewis County game. I think that's the mindset when they left Lewis County, they left Hohenwald that night. They know that they left a real opportunity on that field that night, and they probably looked at each other and decided, you know what, guys? Now we can do one of two things.
Had a Tim Tebow moment,
and just say, look, we kind of messed up our seeding, we messed up our first round, our home field advantage, but that doesn't mean we're out of this game yet. And we have something, like you said, we've got something to prove. We got the playmakers to do it.
You got to beat them at some point.
Nobody's expecting us to do it, and that might just be that perfect storm to go in there and steal that game tonight. I'm optimistic.
That's where you got to be, yeah.
Cautiously optimistic about.
What's the line out of Major League? There's only one thing left to do.
Win the whole thing. We are on radio, so don't say that.
And I mentioned the Sonny Moore rankings earlier, where Mount Pleasant's ranked 108 and Milan 40, regardless of classification. And to a listener, you might be thinking, well, there's a lot of teams in between them. But that includes all your 6A teams and so on.
And there's a lot of teams that are at home that are in between 40 and 106 that aren't even playing.
Correct. So
it's a different world now.
But when you look at just 2A football, this is a top 10 matchup. Milan, of course, we've already said is ranked 1, but Mount Pleasant is 10th in the 2A rankings, according to Max Preps. So like you guys, I expect this to be a dog fight. Or cat fight. You got Tigers versus Bulldogs, and I believe that what Mount Pleasant has is what you guys have already mentioned. They have a balanced offense where they can strike through the air, they can strike on the ground, they can drive the ball, or they can hit it big from anywhere on the field, which is not something I think Milan has had to go up against all year long. And I'm gonna add one more little nugget that I dug up today.
Go ahead.
And you make of it what you will. But according to Coach T, Milan's strength of schedule this year is 25th.
Out of everybody or just Class 2A?
It's 2A. It's 2A.
It's not.
And Mount Pleasant's is 35th.
So pretty close.
Pretty close. Somebody thinks Milan has played a tougher schedule by 10 spots.
Well, I wonder how much of that is due to Riverside and Riverside and Adamsville being down too. So there's that.
And you just have to probably look at Milan's early schedule, who they had on their schedule, or they might have come across some higher classification.
Sort of like we talked about East Nashville. They went and played some folks maybe that wouldn't normally be playing.
Oakland, CPA.
The big boys.
And that'll run your schedule. That'll run your strength of schedule up there quickly.
Let's go into 5A, but first, before we do that, currently Lincoln County trailing Powell 16-8 in the first quarter. Knoxville Hall's on top of Lawrence County 7-0. So that's your update from Region 4 5A. Let's talk about Knoxville Central tonight as they stay behind us. They got to keep it close and score. Knoxville Central is 5-2 in one-score games. 4-1 in their last 5 regular season games, which were all one-score games. If they keep it close, they feel like they can win the football game.
Well, and I think that proves that they're well coached. I mean, if you're able to, and probably they don't make a lot of errors and penalties to hurt themselves.
That's correct.
So I would just say. That's a pretty good stat if you can have that type of record in one-score games.
Chris, do you happen to have kind of an average score in those one-score games? Are they high-scoring?
They are very high-scoring. They've won 24-21, 38-35, 40-39, 21-20 in the last 5 regular season games. Those are the scores.
Yep.
So they score a bunch. They also lost 26-20 to Dobbins Bennett. They beat Knoxville West 29-21. And they score a bunch, though. I mean, when they score a bunch.
And if they're winning those 1 point high scoring games, it just shows you, at some point in that game, they're down. They don't panic. They stick to their game plan.
Absolutely.
And that is they go to their key players that are making big plays to get them down the field and get them in scoring position.
I think we just discovered Columbia's key to victory. Score 40.
Yes.
Score 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like they're scoring in the high 20s, low 30s.
Okay.
So,
and I'll take 40. I'll take 42 points from Columbia.
These two teams are almost identical in the way that they play, because for Columbia Central tonight, they got to dance with Daniel. Daniel Booker is the straw that stirs their drink, but they need to get after the quarterback. We talked about Caden Long, who's 4,000-plus yards on the year and 40 total touchdowns, but Daniel Booker has 100 yards and 32 total touchdowns, so not far behind. They don't really have a whole lot of other guys that really are able to make you focus on them.
Well, Jamari Brown's coming back today.
Well, he's one of my players to watch. Jamari Brown, who's coming back from an injury, 20 catches, 438 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's back tonight. Hasten Ball, 8.3 yards per carry.
The Honey Badger.
He has really stepped up for the Lions.
6 touchdowns. And on the other side, so Hasten Ball, 662 yards, 6 touchdowns, right?
Picked them all up last week.
Yeah.
For Central, for Knoxville Central, Jaden Harris, 667 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Wow.
Almost identical.
Wow.
But the player that you got to watch, and you guys mentioned it earlier, is Mr. Javiston Badgett.
Yep.
57 catches, 1,079 yards on the year, and 11 touchdowns for the Bobcats.
Sounds like he can get up and down the field pretty
Favorite
quickly.
target, it looks like.
Yeah, he's moving well after he gets the ball.
You've got to focus on him, and you got to get after the quarterback. If you can put some pressure on Long, keep him in the pocket. You can't let him escape, right? But Central's got 27 sacks on the year and 13 interceptions. That is the key to the game for Columbia Central.
And I honestly think that's where Jamari Brown is going to probably make the biggest difference in the game, is on the defensive side of the ball. If you go back to that Lincoln County game and that big interception late in the game, one-on-one matchup, that defensive stop was huge.
Chris, what are your thoughts on a player like Brown coming back off of an injury, having not played in the last several games, conditioning, being up to game
rest
speed
versus rust?
So
we talked about that during COVID a lot.
I think the biggest thing for Brown is he capable of going 100%? Because when you have an injury like that, and he's kind of had a few injuries here and there, like, you're concerned about getting out on the field, the way that you cut, the way that you move, the way that you play. I will say this, that he's salivating and been chomping at the bit.
Yeah,
I mean, they had to hold him back last game and say, no, you're not playing.
I also believe that if you're a defensive back or a receiver, those are the best positions to have had to miss some games to be able to come back.
Right.
You're not the quarterback. You're not the running back getting pounded. You're not a linebacker in the middle of things. You line up as a receiver, and you have to win some one-on-ones in man coverage. If they're going to play zone on you, you have to find those soft spots. It's not as physical,
correct,
to play those positions, which bodes well for a guy coming back off an injury.
And I fully anticipate that Central's not going to use him in any sort of situation where it's going to get physical.
Right.
Then they put him in some decoy type situations, use him more on defense. But if they're going to need a big play to become electric, because I mean, Knoxville Central's going to have to stack the box. A quarterback can't score 6 touchdowns on foot.
No.
And you're not going to stack the box. So they're going to have to use somebody else to kind of mix and match it. And I think they're going to have a couple of tricks up their sleeve in their back pocket for Brown late in the game.
And I agree with you when you said that the difference he may make tonight may be on the defensive side. If he tips a ball, gets a pick, breaks up a few passes,
or
those
prevents
can be
them from just throwing his way. They don't want to throw the ball to a playmaker like Jamari Brown. If he's covering Badgett, probably,
Sure.
So.
I'll tell you what, one thing we do know, and one thing I would probably put my money on, is that Knoxville Central is probably going to be able to tackle a little bit better than East Hamilton is. Let's just be honest. I mean, Daniel Booker runs for 375, 6 touchdowns. It looked like a video game out there.
They give out a bunch of points. I don't know if they can or not.
Well, I'm just saying that.
I agree with Chris. I'm not convinced they can. I haven't seen them play, but I tend to believe that they don't do that as well in East Tennessee.
Okay. Now, if that is the case and the tackling remains the same like against
track shoes on
as East Hamilton has, my deal is that we're going to see a shootout.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to see a lot. I want the over because I think there's going to be a lot of points scored tonight.
I think the over-under is probably 58.5.
I would get it up in the 60s probably.
I think we said 60s on the show earlier.
Yeah, I'm saying 63, 64 points somewhere in there. And that might be before overtime if there is an overtime. Yeah. So
think about just the buzz of the stadium here tonight. It's a whole different feel than it was.
Yeah, a lot more people.
I'm seeing people come through here who ain't been here probably all year.
Yeah, and looks like I've seen about 6 tour buses come in on that side. They're rolling in.
Yeah,
they're serious. Last week, East Hamilton just got sent out here. There wasn't anybody in the stands. They put them boys on a bus and said, "Go play ball."
We'll see you when you get back.
So, there's a part of Knoxville that came with these boys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now. This is the place to be tonight in Columbia for sure.
It absolutely is. All right, fellas, let's go. We got 9 minutes left, so let's put some picks on the record. We've got tonight's games. We'll start in Class 2A. It's Mount Pleasant at Milan. Who you got? We'll start on the far end down there with
Landon.
Yeah, let's start with Landon.
We're going to let the rookie go first.
Rookie. Set the tone.
I'm going to go with Mount Pleasant. I think the playmakers are going to make the difference. You look at Niehaus, Easterling, McCory, everybody else. They're going to match everything that Pete does single-handedly for Milan. They got multiple guys on Mount Pleasant that can do things. So, rolling with Mount Pleasant.
All right.
Likewise, I'm going with Mount Pleasant, going with the home team. I do think that Mount Pleasant's playmakers are going to kind of shock what Milan is able to do, and I think it's going to neutralize some of their playmaking. But I'm riding with Mount Pleasant.
All right, let's go, Coach.
Everything on paper tells me that Milan should win this game. They are a 10-point favorite in those Sonny Moore power rankings. Again, this is a top 10 matchup, 1 versus 10, Milan being 1. They're the home team. I don't like the fact that Mount Pleasant has to travel to Milan to play this game. They're going to be a tough opponent. But you know what? The games are not won and lost on paper. They're won and lost on the field. I think Mount Pleasant has enough offensively to give Milan something they haven't seen this year. I'm picking Mount Pleasant to win on the road against number 1 Milan by a score of 28-24.
With the score, I'm gonna do the Coach O, go Tigers, because I think Mount Pleasant's hungry. I think they're ready to do. They've been due for a while. Let's go win one tonight.
Let's go win a big one. Let's go,
Drake.
Okay, hey, it's no secret. Defense wins championships. That's just the bottom line. It's tough to overlook the fact that Milan has had 3 consecutive shutouts leading up to this game.
They ain't played nobody, Paul.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. But I'm going to say it's a much lower scoring game than what anybody believes. I think that Spring Hill is going to come out.
Mount Pleasant's
going to come out with about a 4-point victory. I'm going to say 22-18 Spring Hill.
Yeah.
Mount Pleasant.
I've got Mount Pleasant as well.
Pleasant.
All right, let's go.
I hope we're right.
Speaking of Spring Hill, the alumnus.
Yeah. I think
Landon
everybody
Seacrest going over to South Gibson tonight.
I think everybody on this panel probably knows who I'm going to pick, but I just want to give a reason. I think that Mr. Brooks, Lionel, he's brought the Raiders so far this year, and he's not going to leave them to stay in South Gibson. He's going to bring them back home so they can host a playoff game next week. Mr. Do-It-All will lead the Raiders and company, and they'll be back to Spring Hill with a W.
Yeah, I'm going with the home team again. I think Spring Hill is riding a different level of high than they've rode in the last 10 years. And we're riding with them. And, it's going to be a very tight game if they do indeed pull it off. They are going to have to finish this game. They're not going to have to be able to let, South Gibson in at any given point in time. But we're riding with Spring Hill.
Coach?
Strength rank, South Gibson 7. Spring Hill 30th.
In that schedule?
Schedule rank, South Gibson 5. Spring Hill 44. Records. Spring Hill's 5-5 against the 44th most difficult schedule in 4A. South Gibson is 8-3 against the 5th ranked schedule. I don't see Spring Hill winning this game. The home team has an advantage, but I also think South Gibson is just a better opponent tonight.
Eric?
Okay. I agree with Coach here. They are playing with house money tonight, though.
Yeah.
I want them. My want to says I want Spring Hill to win. I want them to string this together and take that next step. I don't think they will, but I want them to put on a show down there. Make it a good ride home because you're proud of what you did tonight. For sure.
I'm going to agree with these two guys down here. I think Spring Hill's had a tremendous year. They've turned that they've turned that ship around, and I feel as though that proverbial Cinderella slipper is going to slide off and not fit tonight. I've got South Gibson 33-14 over Spring Hill.
Not a chance. Spring Hill's going to win this football game, and let me tell you why. Seneca, last name.
Caldwell.
Seneca Caldwell
Number
is the
9.
reason that Spring Hill wins this football. He's going to be a disruptor all night long in the middle of that defense, and he's going to stop this very potent rushing attack.
I'll take that.
Lionel Brooks all day long. Let's go Raiders. All right, let's go. Final game of the night. It is the Maury County Public Schools game of the week. It is Knoxville Central. It is Columbia Central. Pick number 1.
I think Central versus Central. I'm riding with Columbia, Daniel Booker and company, Hassan Ball, Jamari Brown, Jamari Hall taking it back home, holding it down in Lindsey Nelson Stadium.
Going Central High School, I know we talked about it being a high-scoring game, but I think the emphasis is going to be on defense. I think the emphasis is going to be on controlling the ball, slowing it down. And I don't think we're going to see the same type of game we saw last week. I mean, that was a special moment. Now, if we do, great. It's going to be a great game to watch. But I think it's going to be a tight game. Not a low-scoring game, but somewhere around a 31-28. But I'm going with Columbia Central High School in this one.
Coach?
All right, I've got Columbia Central winning this game tonight. This is the most evenly two teams that are matched up in our county this week, 10 versus 11. Central has come in with a 7-3 record against the 12th most difficult schedule. They win tonight 35-28.
I think when they're that even, home field makes a big difference right there. So you got the home field tonight. They can't get caught in the trap of, hey, what we did last week.
Sure.
They can't get on that. We were running, did what we want to at will last week because this is probably going to be a much tougher game. I say Columbia wins. It's going to be a dogfight, however it looks.
Absolutely.
I would say Knoxville Central quarterback Caden Long, who leads 5A with almost 3,000 passing yards and 24 TDs. I'm going to say he's going to have a little bit of an off night, overthrow some passes, have some passes picked off, maybe a pick 6 or 2.
And I will say this, everybody who has YouTube TV just won. Disney and YouTube just finally signed their agreement for a multi-year deal.
There you go.
He's down here raising
Columbia Central 37-33. Columbia Central.
Winners tonight.
45,
thank you, goodness
40.
gracious. YouTube TV and Disney, thank you. God,
I've already moved on.
You've already moved on.
Let's have a good night. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll be back here next week. We hope.
Yeah, we will.